Our car tester Matas Kurat loves taking a Porsche onto the racetrack. It's something many people dream of, but he expects that the new 911 Turbo will be even dreamier than this Porsche bike. Today he's meeting a professional racer, Porsche's factory driver Jörg Bergmeister, with whom he'll do a few laps. But first, let's take a closer look at the elegant speedster. We'll be testing the 911 Turbo in the convertible version. At speeds over 120 kilometers per hour, the front spoiler extends to direct the airflow around the chassis, reducing uplift.
Hi Jörg, grüß dich.
Matas and Jörg Bergmeister exchange greetings.
Ich hoffe, das bleibt auch so.
Das bleibt mit Sicherheit so. Kann's losgehen?
Ja, gerne.
And off they go to the racetrack. The 911 enjoys a long tradition at Porsche, and race driver Jörg Bergmeister has been involved in much of it. Matas notes that this isn't the first 911 Jörg has driven. Jörg says he first drove a 964 in the 1994 Porsche Trophy race, and that he's driven every generation since. The 993, the 996, the 997, and now the 991. The current version of the 911 Turbo produces 397 kilowatts and 660 newton meters of torque. That accelerates the car from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.1 seconds. Matas asks Jörg, what's special about the 911 Turbo? At the top of Jörg's list is how much fun it is to drive. The 911 Turbo has plenty of power in every situation, lots of torque, and a breathtaking top speed. It's just a lot of fun to drive, whether on a racetrack, the highway, or in city traffic. The car covers an impressive spectrum of situations.
Die Bandbreite, die das Auto abdeckt, ist einfach beeindruckend für mich.
The changes to the car's appearance are minor, noticeable probably only to dyed-in-the-wool Porsche fans. But the output of the Turbo and the Turbo S is 14 kilowatts or 20 horsepower higher than their predecessors. Matas asks Jörg whether he can feel the increased power of the new 991 when driving. And how, says Jörg, increased torque and more horsepower are definitely noticeable. And the traction is a little better too. He says he can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.9 seconds, specs that can leave you speechless. The roof of the 911 Turbo convertible opens in 13 seconds at speeds up to 50 kilometers an hour. The interior is just as sporty as the exterior. The materials are as high quality as the price implies. A selector on the steering wheel lets the driver choose from 4 driving modes. The switch that opens and closes the roof can be found in the center console. This thing really moves, explains Jörg. The all-wheel drive makes it hard to make the car drift, says Matas. You'd have to take the car all the way to its limits. Jörg goes one further. You need to take the 911 Turbo to its limits and shut off all the assists to even make the car enter a drift. But drifting is something best done only by experts, and then mainly on the racetrack. The Porsche's purchase price is also beyond most people's limits. The convertible starts at almost 188,000 euros in Germany. Compared with that, the high expense for fuel hardly matters. Porsche says the 911 Turbo burns an average of 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers, but consumption in everyday driving is probably much higher, not to mention when you pull out all the stops and put this performer through its paces.